Yesterday at the Arnott, we had the joy of celebrating the wedding of Alan and Rachel, a beautiful moment shared with friends and family. Coincidentally, it also marked the 5-year anniversary of my own wedding, a reminder of love's enduring power. Today, inspired by these special occasions, I'd like to briefly reflect on a wedding story from the Bible. This can be found in John's Gospel and in chapter 2, and I'll start reading from the beginning of the chapter. And on the third day, there was a wedding in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. And both Jesus and his disciples were invited to the wedding. And when the wine ran out, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." And Jesus said to her, "Woman, what do I have to do with you? My hour has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Whatever he says to you, do it." Now there were 6 stone water jars set there for the Jewish custom of purification, containing 2 or 3 measures each. Jesus said to them, "Fill the jars with water." So they filled them up to the brim. And he said to them, "Draw some out now and take it to the head waiter." So they took it to him. Now, when the head waiter tasted the water, which had become wine, and did not know where it came from, but the servants who had drawn the water knew, the head waiter called the bridegroom and said to him, "Every man serves the good wine first, and when the people have drunk freely, then the inferior wine. But you have kept the good wine until now." Jesus did this in Cana of Galilee as the beginning of his signs, and manifested his glory, and his disciples believed in him. After this, he went down to Capernaum, he and his mother and his brothers and his disciples, and they stayed there a few days. This event was the first public miracle that Jesus performed, so it's significant that this was done at a wedding. In those days, weddings would have lasted several days, so running out of wine would have been a sign of poor planning and would have brought great embarrassment and shame to all those involved. With that as an introduction, let's now think about how this can relate to us in 3 ways. Number 1, the transformative power of Christ. The miracle at Cana is a profound demonstration of Christ's ability to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. Jesus takes water, an everyday necessity, and turns it into wine, symbolizing how we can bring transformation to every aspect of our lives. This act not only signifies his divine power, but also serves as a metaphor for spiritual renewal. When we invite Christ into our lives, he can transform our hearts, our relationships, and even our struggles into something more beautiful and full of purpose. Number 2, faith in action, trusting Jesus with our needs. Mary's role in the story highlights the importance of faith and trust. She brings the problem to Jesus, and despite not knowing how he would respond, she confidently tells the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." This is an example of faith in action. Even when we don't fully understand God's plan, we are called to trust him with our needs and be obedient to his guidance. This teaches us that our faith isn't passive. It involves actively trusting Jesus, knowing that he cares for us and will provide, even in ways we may not expect. And number 3, the abundance of God's grace. The miracle didn't just involve a little bit of wine. Jesus provided an abundance of it, more than was necessary and of the highest quality. This abundance symbolizes the overflowing nature of God's grace. When we turn to God, he doesn't just meet our needs, he exceeds them, offering us life in abundance, peace beyond understanding, and grace that is more than sufficient. This point serves to remind us that God's generosity is limitless, and his blessings, both spiritual and material, are more than we could ever imagine or hope for. We invite you today, if you've not already, to put your faith and trust in the Lord Jesus and witness his transforming power for yourself. Thank you.